we prepare a few questions and, well, you present ourselves. My name is Priscila. You have met my father in Brasilia, Enviado, in ANTT, NTT. And with me, we have Pamela and Joanna. We have two other girls. We are the Racecast.
We are an all-female motorsport platform, and I'm Pamela.
And we talk about various motorsport categories from Brazil and from all over the world, and Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, and it's a pleasure to talk to you. My name is Joanna.
You have recently been to Brazil as United Nations Secretary General Special Envoy for Road Safety. You had a series of meetings on the matter in which you met my father. Could you please tell us more about some key initiatives and challenges you found in your role, and how your experience in motorsport has influenced in your approach of improving global road safety?
So, I mean, yes, in my capacity of UN Secretary General Special Envoy, I do travel in different parts of the world. And incidentally, in August, I started my tour in California. Then I went to Honduras, El Salvador, Panama, Brasilia, Paraguay, and then I ended by making a conference for Sanofi with a pharmaceutical company in São Paulo. And incidentally, Felipe Massa, you know Felipe Massa?
Yes.
He joined me at this event, and maybe you should contact him and do something with him. So, I mean, the road is #1 killer for youth between 5 to 29. Every year, you have 1.3 million people who die on the road. You have between 40 and 50 million people who are injured with disability. And when I do travel in my UN capacity, of course, I meet my UN colleagues who are representing UN in different countries. But I meet government, I meet private sector. I mean, to wake up the pandemic. I mean, the road is a kind of silent pandemic. There are victims and people don't speak about it. Most of the time they speak when it's too late, so have the families of victims who speak about it. So the whole idea is, I mean, to make sure that the government will put that on top of their agenda, like it occurred for COVID-19, or when we speak about climate change, about other disease. And incidentally, Brazil, 215 million population, very big country, but every year you have more than 40,000 people who die on the road. And you have 500,000 of people who go to hospital, with disability. So it's something which needs to be addressed better. If in a country like Brazil, you would enforce the wear of the safety belt in the front, in the rear, the wear of a helmet, and incidentally with Sanofi, with the pharmaceutical, we said we should I mean, talk about helmet like a vaccine. Unfortunately, I mean, people, as you can see, they are driving, or the passenger without helmets, and sometimes the helmet has not the proper standard, so it's very fragile, like a glass, it breaks. So it's what I try to promote. And I mean, the link with motor racing, there is no direct link with motor racing, except the fact that in motor racing, we have been progressing deeply in improving safety, So, I mean, we have learned a lot from racing, and if we can bring that to normal road users, it will be a win-win situation. So, in a way, what we have been learning in motor racing, we want to be able to use it for any road user advantage.
Yeah, this is so much important. principally here in Brazil. And Mr. Todd, you have also visited other Latin America countries. Are the situations in these countries similar to Brazil? And what is your vision for the future of road safety in Latin America?
So, I mean, yeah, mainly situation is similar, except that, I mean, two big countries in Latin America and is Brazil and Mexico, you know. So I will say situation is very similar, but it's probably easier, you know, when I speak with the president of Paraguay or El Salvador or Honduras. It's all those countries are 7 million population, so it's probably easier to address it and to make sure that things will be done. That's why for big countries like Brazil or like Mexico, you need also to involve governors of provinces, mayors, you know, in order that the effort on addressing road safety is multiplied at regional level, provincial level. And every year, I was mentioning, you know, I travel all around the world, and normally in August, it's my Latin America tour. Last year, I visited other countries like Guatemala, Colombia, but incidentally, more than almost 15% of the global victims around the world are occurring in your part of the world. But, you know, I think it's also a global responsibility, not only the responsibility of the government, it's the responsibility of every road user. So if yourself, you decide, you know, in your surrounding to put road safety on top of the agenda, you know, and involve youth to speak about that, you will save life, you know. So, I mean, every citizen, you have, the world is 8 billion population, 8 billion of road users. So you have a responsibility also to communicate about road safety.
And Mr. Todt, since you started as UN Secretary General's Special Envoy until now, how much change have you seen on all over the world in considering road safety?
You know, it would be very presumptuous to say I've been, but let's say, you know, the whole idea, and incidentally, we are going to launch on the 20th of September, first time a UN with JC Deco. Don't know if JC Deco is familiar to you. It's #1 billboard company in the world. And we are going with 13, 14 celebrities. We are going to launch a campaign of communication, of education in southern cities, 80 countries. Quite a lot will be done in your part of the world. So, I mean, I've been trying, you know, to make this pandemic from silent to more awareness around it, and you know, and addressing. And I hope, you know, in your podcast, how many times did you speak about road safety? Probably never. You know, so now you will speak about it, and then you will speak with your friend to speak about it. So, you know, it's like a kind of chain, you know, just to try to move and give the good sign. And you all know somebody around you who has been victim on the road.
I know some stories.
You know, so that's why it doesn't only happen to the others. And I was saying, you must prevent that.
Yeah, I totally agree. So I came to my grandma and I took a very dangerous road to come here, and so many trucks and so many drivers who drives dangerous, and they don't know it's danger for all of us.
And in some
You know,
places,
in Brazil, you have another problem, but which is very big, is traffic congestions. And
Yeah.
when you see, last time when I was going back from São Paulo, center of the city, to catch the plane, it was horrendous, the traffic, and then with people sailing in the middle of the street. It should not occur. It should. So I do respect people who try to sell something, but not in the middle of the road, on the motorway.
Yes.
And for you it seems normal. It is not normal.
yeah.
So you must change the habit. You must change the way of thinking to people, and on that you have a role to play. Open your eyes. But the problem, you are born with that. So it seems normal. But again, because you need to create awareness. You need to make sure that people will take attention on that. And also in the cities now all over the world, you have what is called the new mobility, with e-scooter, with bicycle, with electric bicycle, which go quicker. And people, they don't respect the one-way street, they don't respect pavement, they don't respect pedestrian. So on that, it's education and law enforcement. If you know that you are going to be penalized, you will pay some attention. If you think that you are invulnerable with the law, then you will do whatever you want. So on that, it's education, and it's you must put that include that in your way of living. It's a way of living, a way of behavior.
Yeah, there is a lot of cities in Brazil that they don't use helmets while there, and they don't use seat belts. Like, it's normal to use seat belt, but they don't use, and there is no fiscalization, so they don't think it is important.
That's why I say that's why it has to change. It has to change. But people and here, that's all around our campaign. So maybe when our campaign comes out, it's something you could support and say that's what we don't want to lose our friend. We don't want to lose our family on the road. So that's what you need to do, and you create support to the special envoy on addressing road safety in your region in Brazil. And you are all three in a different region. If you decide that you are going to put that on priority, then I'm sure you will have some success.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now we have some questions, not about road safety, but entering more in the motorsport world. One of our things on Racecast that we are greatly invested is on the topic of women in motorsport. And we are very happy to see the ongoing increase of female representation. So as former FIA president, and we wanted to know what was the scenario back in your day and how has it evolved to what we see today? How do you see that change?
First, it's true to say that motor racing has always been more a kind of a male sport. Probably, you have some reasons. For example, on Netflix, it has been a series around Formula 1, Drive to Survive, where it has been a different access to motorsport, and the women have started to enjoy that. So I think women should be more involved and more willing to participate. Then, honestly, And so in the history of motorsport, you have had some women who have been very successful, but mainly more in rallying than in circuit racing. And unfortunately, often women did not, you know, the motorsport is a sport where the car is very important. The level of the car, the level of the team, and you see that, I mean, in Formula One, you know, from one year to another one, you have the best, the drivers who have been the most successful. Then if he has not a good car, he will not be as successful. So I think it will be nice to see a woman with a chance to drive a very competitive car. And then we could see. But nevertheless, I think it is important to, I mean, to take the opportunity and to compete in karting, to compete in a lower series, and also to promote motorsport engagement for women. So it's something you can really try to create, you know, and in a way you can see that in football. Football was not so popular for women until recently. Well, now, I mean, it had been a World Cup for women in Australia last month, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So you must try really to contribute to develop interest for motorsport. And then, of course, the governing body, national federation, international federation, should also engage and give some program and facilitate access to motor racing.
Yes.
And more about your stay here in Brazil. You watched the stock car races in Goiânia during your stay here. And what did you think about the races?
So, I mean, you know, I was of course I was when I was in Brasilia, and I wanted to see my friend Felipe with, you know, like family for us. And incidentally, my son had been his manager for something like 20 years. So we wanted to be with him, with the family. And so we went to Goiânia. And I must say I was quite surprised to see the level of racing. So, I mean, the format is quite different from what you see normally. I must say it was a bit of a pity that the race was finished under the safety car, but it seemed to be quite aggressive driving, but it occurs very often in closed car racing, like touring car. But it's a good potential. It's a good level of championship. I saw that it was quite professional. I saw also a lot of interest from the public. But, you know, I was not so surprised in a way, because in this part of the world, there is a lot of passion for cars, for motorsport. So it was kind of a demonstration of that.
Of all the drivers you have worked with, who would you like to watch in racing in stock car, besides Felipe, obviously?
You know, I mean, working with a lot of drivers in different categories, in rallying, in cross country, in sports car, in Formula One. But probably, I mean, the two drivers who have been and who are still closest to my heart are Michael Schumacher and Felipe Massa.
Are you coming for the races this year?
No, I'm not. You know, I mean, since I stepped out from first my position at Ferrari, then at FIA, I still love Formula One, but I've been in so many races that I still love watching race. But honestly, for me, it's I do prefer to watch it from from home. Now you have amazing TV facilities with computer. You can have partial time and all that. So, I mean, most of them do prefer to watch it from home on TV.
And considering all your experience in Formula One, we wanted to know what is your favorite memory from Interlagos? If you have any memory from here that's close to your heart.
I mean, honestly, I don't think I can tell you a favorite memory. I mean, I do remember, incidentally, I was watching on TV in 2008 when Felipe won the race, and then for a few seconds he was world champion until it was the last overtaking on Hamilton to another driver, and it was the kind of disappointment for Felipe at the time. But otherwise, I've been enjoying going to Brazil, going to São Paulo. I mean, as I was saying, the atmosphere. Sometimes it's not the safest as possible to go from the hotel to the circuit. You can be a bit vulnerable, so it's maybe a specificity of some countries around the world where you need to pay more attention. But I mean, otherwise, I was saying, I mean, the atmosphere is amazing, and I would enjoy going to Brazil. And incidentally, one of my best memory in Brazil is not linked to Formula One, but linked to a rally I did. You were not born there at that time. It was Vuelta América del Sur in '78, when it was 30,000 kilometers in 30 days. And at the time, I was a rally co-driver. And we were going through all Brazil, Amazonia, forest, and all that. And I had, the privilege to visit a big part of Brazil by car during the rally. And for me, it's really founded memories.
That's awesome. We really weren't born yet, but that's awesome.
So, we have any other questions, or I think we finished? What do you think, Jo?
Yeah, ask them all.
Okay. So up to you now to do a good job. Rely on you. We will send you Antoine.
I sent to Priscilla.
Okay, it has been sent to Priscilla.
Okay.
Yeah, from
okay, and let me know if you travel to Europe. I will be happy to invite you.
Yes, of course. Thank you so much, Mr. Todt, for the talk.
It's very early for you in the morning. It's now 7 o'clock in the morning, no 7:30?
Yeah.
7:30. Okay.
Thank you
Bye-bye.
very much.
Bye.
Bye-bye.